Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry for the extra noise. The 3D printer's going. Today I just want to talk a little bit about 3D printing and how I do my 3D printing. It does take some patience, it does take some practice. I wanted to kind of walk you through the steps that I do. It's not going to be super in detail, I'll say, but it's going to give you an idea of what it's like. There's going to be issues you run into. You're just going to have to be patient and work through them. So that's what I think I'll probably title this, 3D printer. 3D printing takes some patience and persistence, something like that. But let's get to it. Okay, first let's talk a little bit about the printer itself. I've done several videos on this printer, so probably the best one to go back and look at is my 1-year review on my printer. I have the Ender 2. It's a small 6x6 basically printer. And also know that these get better and better every day. So this is probably going on about 1 3/4 or so year old. I think this winter it will be 2 years old. So it's been a good printer, really good. So check out that video. I won't get too much into that, and that'll give you more information. I'll see if I can link that in the description. And one thing about printers, when you first get one, you're probably going to want to do mods to it, right? I've done a lot of mods to mine. Again, this will all be in a playlist. You can see a lot of the mods, but my LCD, my SD card reader, a couple of hook-through type things for the filament, so on. So check out the mods. Speaking of filament, guys, you're going to need filament. You know, they have all kinds of filament out there. I usually just buy the cheap stuff off eBay. One of the things you're going to get used to doing is making sure your filament's untangled, because the way this 3D printer works is it feeds right into there through that piece and in and around and melts it down onto the bed. So if this gets tangled up at all up here, your filament's going to break and your print's going to end up all messed up. So that's one of the problems you're always going to be constantly monitoring and run into. But you know, just be aware of that. You know, no real gotchas on the filament. Like I said, I use the cheap stuff. I buy it off eBay. It's like 14 bucks a spool or something like that. Take note that my black filament, for whatever reason, doesn't want to adhere to the bed really well. See how that gray just goes down perfect? My black will warp up a little bit. I don't know what that is. Somebody knows, comment. But all my other ones work really well. So you know, I don't print a lot of things in black unless I absolutely have to have it in black. You know, another thing you're going to need is just some basic tools. Mine came with a printer. Like, I've got those little clips, little scissor type things. I bought some scissors. I bought a caliper, a digital caliper, some pliers, screwdrivers, you know, just normal tools to have on hand. Some of these tools came with the printer. I keep those in a drawer down there. It's an Allen and some wrenches and, you know, things like that. So you are going to need some basic tools. You probably already have most of those on hand, so it's not a big deal. You know, guys, once you get your filament all loaded and ready to go, you got to prep your printer to get to actually start printing. To do that, you're going to have to you know, preheat the bed, add some glue, and you know, that's how you get your machine ready. Not all that does is that brings it up to temperature, so when you go to print, it'll take off a lot quicker. Otherwise, you got to wait for it to heat up, and then if you know, you walk away, you just have more chance of a print being messed up if you don't see it take off right away. You know, guys, another thing you're going to want to do is always monitor your filaments. I can't tell you how many times that, you know, probably because I buy the cheap filament, and most of you out there probably will too. I mean, let's face it, it's a hobby. It's, you know, you're not manufacturing things, so you're going to buy the cheaper stuff. Sometimes that gets tangled up, it gets caught up on itself, and when that happens, it can break. So when you're printing, you really need to monitor that filament and make sure, just make sure it's got an easy path to be fed into the printer. That's part of the patience. You know, you've just got to be patient. You got to be persistent. You got to watch things and make sure they turn out. 3D printing's not really automatic, right? I mean, it is to some extent once you get started, but still, you got to make sure things are working out okay. Okay, so once you finally get through a print, you're going to have the challenge of getting it off your bed. And when I first started printing, this was more difficult for me because I was afraid I was going to break something or, you know, just mess something up in general. And I can't tell you how many times that happened. When I printed my LCD cover, I printed this perfectly once, and then I went to take it off the bed and it cracks down the middle and I have to start all over. So again, frustration point, but I just started over and ran it again. So trial and error, and you'll learn what and how your machine can take, right? So as you go in to scrape these prints off the bed, you know, you're going to learn how rough you can be with it, basically. And guys, when it's finished, you get the joy of actually using things that you have printed. That's what I was just printing as I was showing in this video, is a little microphone stand. I do more and more videos from my computer these days, so it's nice to just pull that microphone up and I can talk while I'm doing screen captures and not have to worry about holding a mic and leaving my hands free to do other things. So really works out well. And here's another one. It's an SD card holder. Printed it pink, so it makes it easy to find on my desk. And another one worked out really well. Now I will say another trial and error piece of 3D printing. Take for instance this SD card holder. I print that normal size. Turns out my SD cards would not slide in and out very easy. So I had to go back into my slicer and increase it by about 2% in size to make sure everything fit in and out. So when it heats up that plastic and lays it down, sometimes it shrinks a little bit and things don't fit. And here's another area of talking about playing with things, guys, is when you use a slicer. I use Cura as a slicer. Sometimes when you open a file, it won't lay flat on the bed. It'll be flipped up or do something crazy. So you're going to have to do the move utility to get it to lay flat on the bed to make sure it prints right. And sometimes you got to move it around to where you're going to have to print this where you won't need a bunch of supports to hold things up and then have to clean up your print afterwards. So, you know, there's a lot of trial and error as you go to slice. But once you get that figured out, it's pretty easy. And then you just, what I do is I save it down to my SD card and I walk it over to my printer, plug it in, and go. And speaking of points of frustration, I've tried all kinds of automated printer utilities, AstroPrint, you know, a couple of the others around, Raspberry Pi, Octoprint I think was the other one. I had a lot of problems with those. Prints would stop in the middle, we'd get errors across the cable somehow. Finally, I just went back to SD. I got tired of messing with all the extra errors and frustration. So to me, let's just eliminate that step and print from SD. And speaking of SD, and that's why I put that SD mod on. It actually plugs in there to the micro SD port, back up to the full SD card. It's hard to get your fingers in and out of that little slot for the micro SD on this printer. So this turned out much easier. So like I said, mods for your printer to make your workflow more efficient, always fun to do. And honestly, they're not very expensive because, you know, most of those things you can print. A couple things you have to buy, but a lot of these you can print. So that's what makes this fun, is just creating things. Hey guys, that's about all we have. I really just want to talk about expectations of 3D printing. Just keep them in check, right? If you love to tinker, you're going to love 3D printing. I love to tinker. I love messing with 3D printing sometimes. And sometimes you just need to walk away from it, go do something else, come back and solve a problem. That's going to really help build your troubleshooting skills, your skills on just how to make things, right? So take your time, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. It's a lot of fun. One thing I thought I would like to do more is build things from the software, right? Using CAD or SolidWorks, something, right? Something that I would build a lot of things and maybe fix more things around the house. I'm finding I don't do that nearly enough. So I go out to Thingiverse. Thingiverse is awesome. I think there's a My Mini Factory. There's several websites where you can just go and download things, and I have not run out of things to download and try to print to improve my products. So like say my Sony camera I'm using right now. I can go out and search Sony a6300 and find a bunch of lens caps, all kinds of things out there to help you know, improve my camera, save me a couple bucks buying things here and there. So really awesome people out there have already made tons of stuff that have a lot of talent in this software. So that's about all we have today. Leave a comment, let me know, let's start a conversation. What you think about 3D printing if you're into that, and what your journey was like and how you do it. Any hacks you have for learning the software side, right? I mean, I'd like to spend more time doing that, but I'm finding I just don't have enough time in the day for that. So any hacks you have, let me know what you think, and let's talk about it. That's all we have for today, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.